Not a lot of games right now, but we got a lot to look forward to. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, May 21st, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. I think the biggest thing that happened this week, and some opinions may vary, but Overwatch 2, there was a big kind of what's next and what's going on with Overwatch 2. I think when Jeff Kaplan last spoke about Overwatch 2 in like March, he was talking about how, we had some news coming down the pipe, but nothing too soon. And so this week we got kind of a what's next preview of what's happening with Overwatch 2. Some pretty big changes. They're changing around the maps, which you would expect to do to kind of liven things up. There's a couple character changes. I heard about Mei no longer having the ice wall, and then Winston is going to have like a secondary fire. So if those were your mains, are going to be a little bit different now. And then I think the biggest change that people kind of responded to was the fact that it's dropping from a 6v6 game down to a 5v5 game. And they're going to have kind of solo play and all that kind of stuff, and some more cooperative stuff. But the 5v5 play is pretty big, and they're only allowed to have one tank on each team. I don't know too much about the Overwatch meta or how much that's going to change, but you're still going to have all the great characters. And yeah, I think it's a big kind of change, dropping it down from 5v5 or from 6 to 5. So I'm wondering how kind of game balance that's going to work. But I am kind of excited for Overwatch 2. I missed the Overwatch boat because as I've said previously, I was on the Battleborn plan, and I kind of wanted to choose a side, and I chose the Battleborn plan, which obviously was the wrong decision. But I still enjoyed my time with Battleborn. But looking forward to seeing a little bit more about Overwatch 2. Again, last time Jeff Kaplan talked about it, this wasn't just because we've seen kind of gameplay and map changes and all that kind of stuff, doesn't mean that the game's coming out, anytime soon. So I'm not getting my hopes up that I'll see it even this year, actually, with all the delays. I could definitely see this being like kind of early 2022 game. So that's what I'm kind of expecting it. But big changes coming down the pipe, so looking forward to hearing more about Overwatch 2. We're finally getting a little bit more understanding of what BioMutant is all about. BioMutant was delayed, or at least announced a long time ago, and I think it got hiddenly delayed. I don't know if it was openly said that it was delayed or not. But BioMutant's just kind of always been this kind of wild card that we've known about for like half a dozen years or so, and we've just kind of been waiting to get more and more information. Well, there's a trailer this week that has kind of an explainer from like the creative lead talking about what the game's all about. It takes about 6 minutes to kind of talk through how your character creation works, and how much customization there would be. That was actually the part that caught my eye, was just like really creating your own cuddly furry creature. There's a lot of different gameplay about whether or not you're kind of using, and they made a lot of really good references, but I thought this started off with like, yeah, we're kind of like Breath of the Wild meets Arkham Knight meets, and like a bunch of other like really big popular games. I thought that was kind of like I thought it was a little much to be like, yeah, we're like Breath of the Wild, like one of the most popular games out there. But the gameplay does look really cool. You can have superpowers where you're swinging your sword really hard, or you can go psionic, I think was like where you get, he said, X-Men like powers, where you got like telekinesis and lifting lifting stuff up, and you've got electric power shooting out of you. They talked about it's an open world exploration RPG, and they talked a little bit about like the RPG elements, about the stats and stuff like that. So we finally have a little bit more about BioMutant. I thought it was going to be lean a little bit more towards like a Dark Souls, just from like the way that like small creature, big creature kind of reminded me of like a Dark Souls feel, and like a big sword. But apparently you can use guns, you can use mind powers, you can use mind bullets, Kyle. Anything you want. So I'm definitely kind of, this one kind of got me a little bit more interested. And speaking of a little bit more interested, like the game launches next week. It's something I hadn't been keeping quite on my radar, but I believe it launches May 25th. So looking forward to kind of seeing more about BioMutant. And finally we have kind of the creative leads telling us what the game's going to be like. I actually think I had hands-on this a couple years ago, but I don't quite remember whether or not that happened. So, and I remember enjoying it at that time. So, looking forward to seeing what happens with BioMutant next week. The Dark Picture Anthology has started releasing information about its next installment. For those of you who don't know, Supermassive, the company behind Until Dawn, has been making a Dark Picture Anthology, and they've been releasing like horror games every Halloween for the past 2 years. The previous one was Little Hope, and the one before that was Man of Medan. And I really like these games. I liked Until Dawn. I liked Until Dawn. I liked Inpatient. I actually played that on VR. They also had an Until Dawn VR version. So I've really liked Supermassive and what they've been doing. We actually played through Man of Medan. It was a really fun time in a group setting to kind of pass the controller around, and I really like that too, about the interactive like party experience that they're kind of going for. You can play these games multiplayer, and you kind of control a single character and play through it. So I really enjoyed these ones. The next one is House of Ashes, and it seems like it's looks like you're raiding a tomb, which was really interesting. So Man of Medan was like a haunted boat or a haunted submarine or something like that, or a haunted giant ship. The next one was like Salem witch trials related. This one seems like tomb kind of exploration. So be sure to get your bullwhip and your dual pistols out. Yeah, they're definitely gonna it seems like they're gonna go for like more of a mummy theme and kind of drive horror from that, which I think is a really strong theme. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about this. I'm expecting it to come in the October timeframe like these games usually do. But with delays, I don't know if that's going to be true or not. But they're starting to release information about it. This wasn't even like a official full trailer. I think this was just like a teaser, even though it's like a minute long. But looking forward to seeing more. I really enjoyed the Dark Picture Anthology, so looking forward to hearing more about that. Back 4 Blood, speaking of Halloween games that I'm looking forward to playing, Back 4 Blood got a new trailer this week, walking through each of the characters and each of the different enemy types. I really enjoyed the kind of breaking down the characters, and each character has their own like strengths, and with strengths, personal strengths plus strengths that they provide for the team, whether it be like healing or buffing melee or movement speed for everybody. They all kind of have a unique play style, and mixing and matching, considering you can only play 4 players at a time, should allow for a lot of like creativity. And then last month we had like the kind of card system introduced, so I think there's definitely going to be a lot of replayability with like different characters and different builds and different cards and different decks. So I'm interested to see it, and I really kind of enjoyed the trailer. So I'll have a link down below to that in the description. One of the things I'm really looking forward to talking to was Able Gamers, the company that helps adapt gaming for people with disabilities, is partnering with Logitech, and I think Logitech G is their their esports or their gaming division. Those two companies are partnering together to make an adaptive kind of esports event for people with disabilities, and I just thought it was really cool. Like Steven Spohn is one of my like idols. I really look up to him, and I think he's just an awesome person. And I'm really excited to kind of see what the esports scene looks like when it's been adapted for like able gamers. So I think it's really exciting. I think it's something you should definitely look into. It's important any way you can. And yeah, I'll have a link down below to that as well. Another big news from my alma mater, AT&T is spinning off the Warner Media section, the Warner Media portion, in a $43 billion deal with Discovery. This is affecting like HBO Max and WB Games. I don't think anybody has a really good idea of like what this partnership is eventually going to lead to. They talked about how they'll keep some parts of gaming, and they're getting rid of some parts of the gaming. My gut reaction, and I don't have any inside information, my gut reaction is just that maybe they'll hold on to the mobile gaming portion, and then like the traditional studios will kind of get spun off. That's kind of what was cited in the articles that I read. definitely really big news. The fact, and it seemed like coming from a side of like AT&T just doesn't want to be in content creation. They just want to be a mediocre telephone service or internet service. So yeah, I think this is really strange. I don't know. It's also a big question mark around some of the IP. DC, I believe, is part of this deal, but I would assume that they would be holding on to something like Harry Potter, and that would still kind of stay close to the AT&T chest, and maybe they'll license it out. Yeah, this was just kind of a bomb that just kind of set out in the middle of the week, and no one really knows what to do with it. So, very interesting stuff. Again, I have no inside information. I'm just kind of guessing at what I think is going to happen, what this kind of joint venture is going to look like with Discovery. So interested to see what happens there. So if anybody knows anything, let me know down in the comments. Or personally, you got my number. Netflix is looking to get into the games division, which, hey, this probably would have been a good thing. Netflix is definitely on the prowl. They've always been kind of toe in, toe out on the games industry, but with recent things like the Stranger Things video game, and they're adapting a lot of gaming content to Netflix with like League of Legends and Castlevania. So they're definitely interested in the gaming arena. So they're actively searching for like an executive to kind of lead up this new arm of Netflix. They're also talked about how they're going to try and create a kind of Apple Arcade-like service, which makes me think this might be more mobile focused and less focused on kind of traditional console or PC gaming. But very interested to see kind of what Netflix does with it, and they've already got a vested interest in some of these big IPs that they're converting into kind of traditional streaming content. So yeah, I'm wondering, kind of Netflix is kind of wishy-washy, so I don't know if this will actually result in anything, but they kind of spoke out this week saying, hey, we're looking for an executive to kind of lead up our games division. So interested to see what happens. Outriders is officially getting its own merchandising. So you got the Outriders lunchbox, you got the Outsiders. I can't do Yogurt's voice for very long, but Square Enix talked about how after hitting a really big benchmark this week, Outriders has sold 3.5 million units. So after only like 6 weeks, so it's definitely selling like hotcakes and very good on them. Square Enix has kind of talked about it after hitting that point. Square Enix has talked about it, how it's the next big franchise for the company. So they're going to invest more. I expect to see Outriders 2, and I really think that this game is kind of primed for kind of DLC. Whether or not that means that there's going to be an Outriders 2, or if it'll like just perpetually update it every year and make it an evergreen title. Or games as a service title. They said up front that they weren't going to do that, but I can expect that coming down the pipe that people want more content, so we'll get more Outriders content sometime soon, or sometime. So glad that Outriders is kind of selling as well as it does. I'll probably, why not? I'll plug my show down below where we do the Friend Zone, which is my review show. The last one we did was on Outriders. We kind of talked about our thoughts of how the game did and its shortfalls and what it does really well. So I'll link that down in the description so you can check that out if you want to know a little bit more Outriders content. A new Skyward Sword amiibo is coming out to promote the next, I guess, Skyward Sword, to promote the HD service, the HD up-res version of Skyward Sword that's coming to the Switch. It features Zelda and a Loftwing. I don't know what that is, other than it's the cute bird that I saw when I was looking at this article, but it did kind of remind me that, hey, Skyward Sword's coming out like in a month or two, so I'm looking forward to playing that. I already have the Joy-Con, the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons that I'm really excited for. And this kind of amiibo, I can add that to my Zelda collection of amiibos. And just a reminder that Skyward Sword is coming to the Switch on July 16th. So I'm looking forward to that. I've already pre-ordered it, like I said. Last but certainly not least, Fall Guys is going to the internet. No, Fall Guys is getting. Can you remember Fall Guys? You remember Fall Guys? I remember Fall Guys. Fall Guys is getting some Tron skins, which I always liked. I always liked following these and kind of seeing what the new skins were that were coming to Fall Guys. They've got some Tron skins coming out that look pretty cool. I'm waiting for like a light bike skin, but they have the whole kind of get up skin, and they have like the darker like Tron Legacy, and they got like the dude with the hair. And yeah, they're all wearing like the nice neon jumpsuits. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing those in game. This also kind of reminds me that like this is a Disney IP, so like does this mean that, you know, there's some room to get some more Disney IP in there, or was this kind of like a one-time deal? So that's one of the things I'm kind of wondering about when I see Tron skins coming to Fall Guys. So interested to see kind of what more. Now I'm gonna follow that. Also, I kind of want to play Fall Guys. You guys want to play Fall Guys? Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing the Tron skins and what else is coming out for Fall Guys in the not too distant future. That's it for the week. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do, follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch. You can see more great content like this. I'll have links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super week. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!